This episode of Talking Timbers is brought to you by Appalachian Log Structures, Colorado Timber Frame, International Homes of Cedar, Log Home Insurance, Rustic Log and Timber, Stone Mill Log and Timber Homes, Timbercraft, Timberhaven Log and Timber Homes, and Ziegler Farms Handcrafted Flooring.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're on to the afternoon edition of the Let's Talk interview series. The Let's Talk interview series is really about getting professionals from the log and timber frame home industry together to really share their knowledge with you, helping you through the process of building your new home. And that goes without saying with my next guest. I have Jim Elliott from the Log Home Hub. Jim's based out of North Haverhill, New Hampshire, which is up in the mountains, I believe. Right, Jim?
Yes.
The White Mountains, that is. Those smaller ones just beyond the Adirondacks. And his topic is going to be paralysis by analysis. And I thought it was a good one. And Jim's business is he works with people through the process of building their log and timber frame home. So he sees a lot of the different decisions and thoughts that go into this. And that's kind of what his role is to help people through that. And what we want to do is getting through the sometimes overwhelming process of building your dream home. And Jim, with that, you can jump right into it.
Sure. So I want to encourage everyone that as you're navigating through, especially a kind of a different time that we're dealing with, and trying to inform yourself on options that are available. We know the internet can be a confusing place. When we do live shows, we notice the look on a lot of people's face where it's almost information overload. There's so much to retain, and over the years I've heard from people that their confidence level just was not there for them to purchase, or they sort of had to blindly trust someone to pull the trigger and spend a lot of money invested in this. So we're here to help people to navigate all of that information. We work on the behalf of the client, but to encourage people not to get discouraged with trying to remember what every company offers and whatnot, but to sort of absorb it slowly. A lot of people say, well, we're a year to 2 years, maybe 5 years out. That's perfect timing. It allows you time to educate yourself, to get all the options, the things that are important to you, what you expect. To get educated in the building process, the financial process, material selections. There's so much that go into it. And so that's, we're here to answer any question about any portion of it, whether it's your kitchen and bath, your land selection. We have a lot of information that's free on the internet that we're happy to steer you to. And, most of all is to help educate yourself and make good, sound decisions and go into the build feeling confident that, that you've done everything that you can and then enjoy the process. It's a fun thing. It can be a fun thing. And that's where we focus is try to help people feel confident in the decisions they're making.
Jim, one of the things that you said that really struck with me is the overload of information that a lot of people get. I mean, just simply your background right there. You're obviously or not in a timber frame home in the background. And those choices start there, with the log or timber frame home package. There's the land, there's your foundation, there's the actual build. But in the middle of all that is choosing the different log or timber frame home company. And really one of the things that you do try to do is to get people, because they're going to get hit with everybody does it one way or this way and whatever way. But I think you hit the nail on the head when you said make it a fun process. It can be fun. It also can be strenuous. But at the same time, there's a lot to learn when you build one of these homes. It's not like a cookie cutter house when you go in a subdivision and pick out siding and a couple windows and you color your front door. So it's a little different than that.
Yeah, it's very unique to the home building process. Most methods of buying a new home in the conventional world would either be buying existing or building buying something that was a builder developer. It's kind of, but this is very unique where you're buying materials from a company. You're trying to navigate what materials are coming and what you need, making your best deals, that sort of thing. Like we said, there's so much information out there. Some of it contradicts. So it's important to talk to reputable companies and absorb as much of that as you can, and then make the decisions that are right for you.
And when they're in that process, Jim, it's important that to make sure they're comparing apples to apples, right? To make sure and that's another part of this process is whatever that package of materials they're getting from a company is understanding what's in it, because there's going to be a price difference no matter what you do. The services that are associated with that, all of those things play into this, right?
Right. Yeah. To go with a price only indicator as to who you want to go with. We know that price is important. You should try to get as much as you can for the money that you have available to you, and get what you have that's important at the best value. And that's kind of what we do is try to help you choose exactly what it is you expect from this home, and help you get that delivered.
Right now, Jim, can you just talk a little bit about your company itself, the Log Home Hub, just so people really understand what you and your company are all about?
Sure. So it's a little, I won't say new to the industry, but it's something that most of the time you're going to deal with a salesperson for a different manufacturer, and they're going to tell you why their home's the best. Everyone has the best product if you're selling something right. So we stand on the side of the aisle with the buyer. We deal with many different log home and timber frame companies on your behalf, not from a salesman approach, but for consulting and buying. We've helped thousands of people in this process. We're still very hands-on in the building aspect. We have several builds right now that's what I go and do Monday through Saturday typically. So it's current information. It's my eyes in the field telling you exactly what I see, whether I think things are a good idea or not, whether there's value and economies in it. I come from a background in log and timber frame business dating 40 years plus. I've been involved in manufacturing, sales, material purchasing, every aspect of this industry, including building. Like I said, it's current knowledge. It's evolving constantly. For me to keep track of some of the companies and what they give in their material package is a daunting task. So for the average consumer, I don't know how they do it exactly, but a lot of trust and friendships made, I'm sure, which that's important. But we help navigate that. We try to make it very simple. The easiest way that I can kind of explain it is that if there was a middleman involved, you would want us involved as that middleman.
Gotcha. Hey, Jim, I got a couple questions that popped up if you want to hit them. Lazaro Petrozella has a question for you. I have an existing cedar log home and want to do an addition. Is there a log company that can help me with that project?
Yes, I'm sure there is. So there's several cedar log home companies out there that we deal with. It would depend on what it is that you have right now for log profile and design and that sort of thing. But we certainly can help. And it's not coming from, we have a cedar log home company and we're going to sell you our product. We can present several companies. You make the best choice in the end. And, everybody's happy at the end of the day.
I can probably urge Lazaro after this Q&A, go to your booth and talk to you privately. Yes. Also, Laura Calleran also wrote in. Laura wants to know, can you talk about the advantages of using a mom and pop log building company versus one of the larger national companies? I've been in this industry a long time, Jim, and a lot of the larger national companies started out as mom and pop companies. So that's kind of a pretty good question, I think. And then we'll end it on that because we got to get going. But if you could answer Laura's question there. And before you go and hang up, I want to thank you for your information today. And again, I want people to go see Jim in his booth and he can take care of any of those questions.
Sure. Yeah. Mom and pop There's a lot of log home companies that aren't out there in national magazines. I would encourage you to buy the annual buyers. Very good information in there. But there's a lot of companies we deal with that aren't in these magazines that put out good products. Like Eric said, they do oftentimes become large companies, and it all starts somewhere, right?
Right.
So we're happy to work with those companies as well.
Very good. Hey, Jim, again, thank you for your time. Thank everybody for attending today, and have a good rest of your day.
Great. Thank you.
Take care.